Bernard Poolman, Life and Death. June 20th, 2007. Written by Bernard Poolman. Date: June 20th, 2007. This sounds more like lies and debt. The core business of consciousness is lies and debt, control and manipulation for power and greed. When the interdimensional portal opened unexpectedly, I considered all my previous experiences with channeling and deep trance mediumship. 4 years I used psychometry and police work as detective while cross-referencing it with bilocation and trance mediumship to get stable information. This was the strangest thing. I could get about 50% correct information and 50% not. Space and time was something the spirit part in all this could not get. In predicting an event, they could give me a number but was unsure if it will be, for instance, 4 days, for weeks, or 4 months, or 4 years. Time looked to them the same from their vantage point. So, here I am. An interdimensional portal opened in one instant, and the communication is nothing like anything I have experienced in the previous 20 years of research for an alternative to our screwed-up reality. Obviously, I am extremely skeptic. I have been burned by spirits before. I have been burned because I wanted it to be true. I wanted the whole universe to be spirit and God and magnificent, and be a child of God participating in the splendor of the universe, in God's creation. But I am yet to find this anywhere, where I can consistently trust reality as God manifest. I have cleared my mind through years of forgiveness and practical application of all information and pictures, and disciplined myself through honesty with myself in all movements of energy in my awareness to find every source where the energy originates from, to trust myself in all instances of information, and never to take anything on face value. So, here I am facing an event I know must be possible, but I have not found even in my own family, where I have 4 mediums, and they are some of the best I have found. They do not share or do anything for anyone, as they do not trust all the information. They only do channeling for family on request only. So, I had my own access to psychics in the family as well as with my own children. To be in a family with several psychics is what really challenges all beliefs. When my father died, my children calmly told me that my father visited them before he died in spirit and informed them that he was going. My kids were 5 and 9 at the time. My dad died and he knew beforehand that he was going, told the kids of his departure, and they accepted this as normal. Yet, my dad was a Christian and did not believe in these things. In fact, he equated my interest to devilish work. To me, at that stage, the devil could not exist in a universe of God Almighty, and was only the idea of demented minds. In studying my own mind and thoughts, I found how easy we could create ideas in our heads filled with emotion to make it right and seem real. This interdimensional portal was different. Suddenly, I could speak to anyone in existence in an instant about any topic. I am skeptic. How is this possible? Demons, animals, trees, dead people, people in the past and in the future. The portal was timeless. I trusted only one thing. Forgiveness applied in honesty with immediate corrective action always leads to trust. This portal could be upgraded to any instruction I gave it. I set it up with the guidance of forgiveness, that no being that speak can leave the portal until forgiveness is applied with corrective action achieved as certainty. Lies and the dead. What I found at that stage was that there were demons everywhere, and I felt that with God everywhere immanent, demons require an understanding of forgiveness. At this stage, I was beyond fear of death or fear of demons. I simplistically viewed it that if I would become possessed by a demon and get lost in the experience, then I have no right to exist. I was certain, though, that even if I get lost, that I will find myself again. Against this background, I decided to focus on helping demons to forgiveness. My motto was simple. In questioning beings throughout existence, all were scared of demons and no one was helping them. To me, as the image and likeness of God, it was my responsibility in honoring the image and likeness of God to help all to understand that forgiveness really practically works when applied, and that we are all in creation in fact equal as the image and likeness of God. I thus focused on assisting demons by not resisting them, but inviting their greatest evil to see if I will loose myself or prove forgiveness as transcended. This continued for more than 2 years. I did not find one demon, from the most fierce and dominant, to the smallest, that would not eventually go to forgiveness. My approach was that with me must exist the certainty that I will remain with the demon into infinity to show the power of forgiveness. Once the demon sees that, they realize that my request that they consider applying forgiveness aloud is a small request against having someone forever annoying them with a request to do forgiveness. What was amazing was the immense release and gratefulness when a demon did forgiveness. I realized the trappings of the ego and made sure that no matter what I achieve, it must not change who I am here constantly in my understanding of myself as the image and likeness of God. As I became more effective dealing with lies and death and possession, I became aware that all is not well in the universe. The masters and angels and white light was not stepping in to assist the demons. The stories of how the beings entering death would end up becoming a demon was heartbreaking. A rage was building within me. How could masters and angels, which I perceived to be the image and likeness of God like me, allow this obvious atrocity of the demonization of beings to continue? I had another interesting vantage point. Years before, when my journey with forgiveness started, I had an experience with the white light giving me gifts. These gifts I was required to be practiced, and they immediately became my experience. I thus had a certain trust in the white light. One of the beings called Chief that presented the gifts from the white light to me years ago visited me again one evening after a session assisting demons and asked me if with all that was happening, would I trust God? This question really put me on the spot. With all these experiences with demons, I was disgusted with all benevolence. I found demon body hoppers that would travel throughout time killing in anger, while the beings they possess did not even know what happened. Children were raped by parents while possessed, without knowing it happened. Children were gradually possessed from a young age. God would not allow this. To me, the great white light represented God. It gave me gifts. It worked. I decided to confront the white light, but instead of all the beings that stand in front of the white light asking questions, I decided to amalgamate with the white light and see for myself. The worst was that God as the white light will destroy me, but then I would know if this is really God. I did amalgamate and enter the white light as myself in an instant. This event changed my life. In the white light I found masters directing it. In a moment of rage, I deleted the white light and the masters were very pissed off. I simply stated, if there is no one willing to honor life, I will not allow these atrocities to continue and stop this abuse. Obviously, I did not realize that what I did was possible until I did it. Now I was facing an even more interesting situation. Everything I had found through the portal so far was only lies and deceit. I withdrew to consider my options. In searching for amalgamation and oneness with God, I found myself at a point where I realized that I am responsible for creation as we are all responsible. I could perceive God or life in each of us, but somehow we had become slaves to the idea of God, and we have ceased to act and direct creation within which we are a part of. It was clear that we must awaken to the fact that we are here where we are, and that only us, according to our ability and understanding at the moment, could make a difference to our experience and our reality. The problem was lies and deceit. Everything we have accepted in our reality is lies and deceit. We are slaves to money and information. All are living as if they will never die, and now the experience after death is certainly the same as on earth. Deceitful. I decided to dedicate myself to finding the source of this. I realized that I must be able to give up myself infinitely to be able to face any challenge, no matter what. It was uncertain what I would find. I was most definitely alone in this. I could expect no help. In all this work with demons, forgiveness, no guidance, no help stepped forth. I had accessed something unexpected. I started questioning beings throughout history randomly to get some form of understanding, imploring them to apply forgiveness. A journey, most unexpected, started, more soon.